Good morning, everyone. Welcome to what I believe is the second annual meeting of the Board of Directors of the NYPA Captive Insurance Company. With me are fellow trustees, B. Gonzalez, Dennis Trainor, Cecily Morris, Michael Cusick, and Lewis Warren. Trustee Wheelock is excused. And we have NYPA staff, as always, represented from around the state and on the screen. And as always, this meeting was duly noticed as required by open meetings law, and I'm pleased to therefore call the meeting to order. As we typically do, need to a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Hopefully everyone had a chance to review the materials, and if I could, I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda as shown to us. A motion and a second was in there. Thank you very much. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Excellent. All right, I think Andrew's primarily going to carry the ball here, but Adam, you're going to kick us off in a little table setting before Andrew runs us through our paces here.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Board of Directors of the NYPA Captive Insurance Company, and members of the public. As you recall, we have received approval in 2023 to form the NYPA Captive Insurance Company. This is a tool that is enabling us to better manage our insurance risks throughout the authority and the canals. And we've already started putting a number of policies in place in the captive. So we're seeing a lot of good progress and success. And we also see lots of potential in the future for other potential solutions that could help us greatly. So as part of our requirements for the Department of Financial Services, we're required to have this annual meeting, and it requires us to do regular administrative things or housekeeping items, such as reappointing officers, service providers, and also to approve the submittal of the financial statements that have been audited to the Department of Financial Services. I'm going to pass it over to Andrew Negro, who is the director of the captive insurance, to go through details around specific items being requested for approval and any questions anyone may have. Andrew?
Thank you, Adam.
And Andrew, you're going to run through the full list of items, and then we'll just have one motion to approve the overall presentation, correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Directors of the NYPA Captive Insurance Company, and members of the public. Again, as Adam indicated, I'm here to request the approval of the corporate resolution at this annual meeting that's presently before the Board of Directors. Just as a background for the public and some of our newer Board of Directors, the governor signed on May 9, 2022, Chapter 193 of the laws of 2022, which was the enabling legislation which authorized NYPA to form the captive insurance company, similar to what was previously authorized for the Metropolitan Transportation Association. Subsequently, the Board of Trustees of NYPA held a meeting on September 29th of 2022, which authorized us to incorporate the captive as a wholly owned subsidiary of NYPA. Following that, we went through the process of receiving licensure from the New York State Department of Financial Services and the incorporation of the captive. And the captive was formed as the NYPA Captive Insurance Company on May 2nd, 2023. Last year, on May 25th of 2023, the NYPA Captive Insurance Company held its first annual meeting. and the organizational resolution to kick off the captive was approved. And then finally, in July of last year, we received our licensing from the New York State Department of Financial Services to operate as a captive insurance company. Since last July, the captive insurance company has issued several policies. Principally, the captive issued a TRIA certified NBCR, which is nuclear, biological, chemical, radiological, and cyber terrorism policy, protecting the authority with an aggregate limit of $500 million. Importantly, that TRIA policy has an 80% federal backstop for any claims paid. And TRIA, again, was the Terrorism Risk Insurance Act, which was previously authorized by the federal government. The captive also issued, in connection with NYPA's underlying $500 million property policy, a $10 million reimbursement policy for our deductible portion of that policy. In connection with our $65 million cyber resilience policy, the captive issued a $5 million deductible reimbursement policy. And in connection with our underlying $100 million general liability policy, the captive issued a $4.8 million portion of our $5 million deductible, a reimbursement policy for that. All in all, the $3.3 million in premiums paid to the captive in 2023 represents a cost savings to NYPA, as opposed to paying it to the open insurance market, which will enable us to increase our general surplus and capital reserves, which will enable the captive insurance company to expand its business and issue other policies going forward, specifically in areas that the captive, that NYPA will not be able to get insurance coverage on the open market. Next slide, please. And as Adam previously indicated, in accordance with its bylaws and DFS requirements, the NYPA captive insurance company submitted its unaudited financial report to the New York State Department of Financial Services in compliance with its March 1st deadline. Those standalone financials were also part of the consolidated NYPA financials. Subsequent to that, NYPA had KPMG, its financial auditor, complete the annual audit of our annual financial statements. And on June 28th of this year, in accordance with DFS requirements, we submitted those financial statements to the DFS. The next slide, please. So we're here today to request approval at this annual meeting of the corporate resolution, which Adam indicated is more of an administrative task required by DFS guidelines and our the captive's bylaws. Principally, the resolution at issue that's presently before the board approves the ratification of the action of the captive officers since the inception of the corporation. It provides for the annual appointment of the corporate officers of the captive corporation, principally the CEO, the chief financial officer, the secretary, and the treasurer, which are the same individuals that were appointed at the organizational meeting last year. It also approves the appointment of our service providers, our captive manager, which is Marsh McLennan, our financial auditor, which is KPMG, our actuary, which again is Marsh McLennan, and our outside legal counsel, which is Denton's and Ora Carrington. In addition, it approves the adoption of the captive current insurance program, which is the policies that I went over previously. And finally, it approves the submittal of those financial audited financial statements to the DFS for the year ending of December 31st, 2023. To conclude, again, the request is that the board of directors approve this administrative annual resolution. And I'll open it up to any questions you may have.
Thank you, Andrew. In terms of actions of the officers, is there anything other than what you just recapped for us that we're approving?
No. No, again, it's, again, the actions of the officers were basically just to have the financials prepared and to issue the policies that were previously discussed.
We're not approving Jets or Mets games or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
I have just a curiosity question. What areas are still to be brought under captive that are not, which cannot get insurance on the open market?
Yeah, I'll start that, Trustee Gonzalez. So one of the areas, for example, is of some of our transmission projects, which are currently self-insured, and we currently cannot obtain insurance on the open market. That's one of the next ones we're going to look at. There are others where it may be obtainable in the insurance market, but we could get better pricing or greater coverage in the captive because we have access to what is referred to as a reinsurance market that you can only get access to if you are a captive insurance company. We saw that with our cyber policy. So other policies we might be looking at would be our OSIP, which is the owner-controlled insurance program, that would wrap around our construction projects and enable bidders and suppliers to come in with lower requirements on their part for obtaining their own insurance or bonding. That will be something we'll be looking into. There's some other interesting creative ideas we're looking at around potentially getting some parametric insurance around hydro risk associated with water flow. If there was a significant deviation, that's something we're also exploring. And as we roll out the NYPA renewables program, we also feel that it's an area where either for NYPA or if we do projects in conjunction with partners, we may be able to provide insurance for those projects at a much lower cost than what is currently available in that market. So those are just a few, and there may be others. I don't know, Andrew, did I leave anything out that is on the?
I think you gave a pretty good synopsis of where we're looking at in our next phase. As Adam indicated, I think the captive is going to be useful to one, provide a cost savings to NYPA by cutting out, some of the profits that commercial insurers would be looking for, and two, to provide coverage for that previously is unavailable currently on the open market.
So we're hitting the target, the objectives and expectations of the captive. We're very pleased with the outcomes 1 year later.
I think we've had a good first year.
More importantly, we're excited about the opportunities it presents. Well done. And for clarity, corporate officers mirror NYPA. CEO is Justin? No.
CEO is Justin. I'm the CFO. Andrew is the corporate secretary, and Jose Yandan, who is the deputy treasurer, is the treasurer for the captive.
All right. Any other questions for Adam or Andrew? If not, I'd ask for a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
So moved.
I have a second. Thank you, B. Thank you, Dennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Last item is consent agenda. For those of us that were present more than a year ago, we ask for a motion to adopt the consent agenda, which merely consists of the meeting minutes from May of 2023. Dennis? B?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All right, thank you. All of us in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Unless there's any other items that come before us, that concludes our agenda. Andrew, well done once again. Great tactical and strategic move for us, so kudos. And the next regularly scheduled annual meeting or of the board is TBD. And with that, that's for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Dennis, Lewis, everybody good? All right, all in
Yes.
favor, aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? No, nay? All right, we're out. The captive is, we've checked the boxes on the captive. Well done again, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.